Hey YouTube, what's going on, people? Do y'all have cabin fever yet? Oh goodness. I'm gonna tell y'all what's bothering me. What's bothering me is we have a good governor now. I'm not even gonna lie. I met this man. My granddaddy works real closely with him and everything, and he's also gonna be one of the people that I have a meeting with to discuss my plans that I have for the youth. Okay, if things somewhat get back to normal soon, which I predicted they probably will by the end of April. Okay. However, um, I don't think we'll ever be totally 100% back like we were. I think this right here is going to alter a whole lot of stuff, but I don't want to get into that because that's depressing to me. But our governors don't want us to congregate at church. And unlike other people, I'm one, and I know the church is you, don't get me wrong. But also, in Romans it says, fail not to assemble ourselves together. And so I get strength being in the building where I'm getting the raw, unadulterated word of God and love and fellowship. And, I know that no matter what my week has been like, that once I get to the building, the house of God where my sisters and brothers of God is, that we love on each other, it's sincere, you get your worship and your praise on together, you get that real word that first make you mad, then it builds you up and it gives you hope, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's kind of a bummer for me, but I was good, even though my church streams on live, it's just not the same for me. It's not. Um, Anywho, so I wanted to come in and talk about some things real quick. So now that I got that in the way, I want to say thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to my channel. I want to give a shout out to Miss Gina. I think I saw that she had subscribed to me. Thank you, Miss Gina, and everything. And I feel like me and Miss Gina have one thing in common for sure, and that's we're both mothers of 9 kids. So if nothing else, me and Miss Gina got that in common, and I don't know anything else because I'm kind of, I just don't travel a lot of places on YouTube. I roller skate through sometime. Like if somebody mentions something, then I'll roller skate, and see what's going on, and then, that's it. But um, to all of the people who sub to me, I feel honored, and I want you to know I don't take it lightly because, you didn't have to give me your sub, you didn't have to, sub to me, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully that I say something that sparks something, make you think, or you can give me feedback, because don't nobody know everything, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come on here to just tell my story. It may not be like everybody else. It may not be, you know, drama filled or whatever, but I just wanted to tell. I felt like my life that I had been through had already been enough drama, so I don't want to be extra drama. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so, that being said, I wanted to just come out here and just say, um, I write poetry. That's how I started off, y'all, as a writer. Let me just go here. I started off as writing poetry when I was in middle school and high school. I had different like notebooks of different poems and poetry that I wrote. I used to write songs and everything, and put them to different beats and stuff like that. And I really enjoy poetry writing. I do. I remember I wrote one called Brown Skin, and I'm gonna have to find it and read it because I do have it copyrighted. See, I ain't dumb because people take your stuff and try to make it theirs. So, but I had one called Brown Skin, and it was about when I don't know, I was going through a really dark place on that particular day, thinking about my cousin who started off molesting me, and the one I eventually fell in love with, and we have a child together. It is my story, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. I don't care what people say. You haven't walked in my shoes. The fact that I did not lose my mind behind everything that I went through, it just is what it is. Um, and it let me know I'm a tough cookie. I'm a tough cookie. Anybody else who went through that, just a slight what I went through, honey, they would have got high, try to, I don't know. But, baby, your misery becomes your ministry after a while. And that is the true statement. It says, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. And that's the truth. So I stand on the shoulders of the women who came before me. And I survived to tell the story. So, I was thinking about that one day. I was sitting in my room and I was having an issue. My issue was I was hating him, and then I hated him for what he did, but I hated the fact that I was missing him. You know what I'm saying? This is me coming out of all of that, that Stockholm syndrome and stuff. I was in the transition of being healed. And I hated what he did, but I hated the fact that I was missing him, because you have to realize that from the age of 8 towards 9 years old, this boy had been a staple in my life. He had more access to me than anybody. And so it was only, I mean, it was bound to happen. Um, so I just wanted to, so I was sitting there and I was writing brown skin, and how, the touch of my brown skin, what it felt like, and how it turned into something different, and, just different things. And when I got through with that, I was like, wow, wow. And so I remember reading it to different women, and they were crying, because even though the words was something, it wasn't a sad poem, but you got what I was saying out of the poem. So that's how I started with writing when I was younger. Writing was okay, these were my three escapes, okay? Roller skating, dancing, and writing. Those three right there. My favorite, I was a heck of a dancer. I can still dance to this day, but not like I used to. I used to win competitions. And where I lived at, me and this girl, okay, I lived in the projects. So, it was a real big project. And everybody used to mistake me for this girl who lived at the top of the hill. And everybody used to mistake her for me. And some of my relatives and friends were like, were you at the community place and everything? Did you win a contest? And I'm like, last week. They said, no, this was last night. I'm like, no. They was like, they kept saying, that's your cousin. She won, she won. I said, everybody keeps saying this girl look like me and she can dance like me. I'm gonna have to see her, because if we look that much alike, then maybe that's a long lost sister. Anyway, so we just so happened, like, my grandmother had a free lunch. She had the community building, which was hers. It was her building, and she used to give out free lunches. And so one day I was going over there, and the girl was in there, and they was like, "Hey, Coco, this is who we talking about," like that, and everything. And so we met and all this and stuff. So we was like, hey, everybody think I'm you, and I'm like, yeah, everybody think I'm you, stuff like that. Now, even her siblings, her sisters, felt like we were twins. They was like, man, y'all look exactly alike, like. So they start calling me they sister, you know. So we would be at the skating rink or whatever, and she would come in, or either I would be skating and she would be in the back throwing down. Do you hear me? And uh, and I would be skating, riding the rails, because I always skated with dudes that can skate real good. And a couple of my friends, like, we used to practice our routine before we went to the roller skating, roller rink. And she would be like, hey, sis, come on, let's handle these dudes. Let's handle these dudes. And so I would come back here, take off my skates. They're like, uh-oh, they gonna work y'all, like that. Because me and her made a vow, because both of us could dance so good. And I'm not playing. We both was like some hey of a dancers, okay? We decided we would never dance against each other. That it wouldn't benefit us to do it, because it was enough room at the top for both of us, and we both considered each, like, I honored her in her place, she honored me in mine. And so Hey, whenever you talk about dance or whatever, different people like, ah, you talking about Coco? Ah, you talking about old girl? Man, they used to work people out. Like we used to go to different community centers, and me and her would dance and bring back, like bragging rights. Like they had it going on. We won that. Turf war and all this and stuff and dance. And I used to be a break dancer. She used to be a break dancer. We both ended up on the same breakdancing team. And I'm talking about real breakdancing, y'all, where you pop lock and you spin and all this and stuff. When I tell you, honey, it's layers to me. Here, get into it. So, but yeah, we just decided that we would never go against each other. It wouldn't. What's the purpose? And so that's how we left it. So anytime she see me, even when we became grown and stuff, and we be in the club, I'd be in the club dancing. They're like, your sister's in here. She over there working it out. And next thing I know, they're like, both sisters together, like that. And I'm like, what's up? We hug each other, and then we work it out. Honey, it's grown women on the floor. These dudes and men couldn't handle us. They's like, what? Two of them? Yeah. So, and everything. And then this girl, she done gained weight too. She ain't gained as much as I did because I suffered from fibroids and stuff really, really bad. But she gained weight too. But both of us, baby, we still can bop. Don't get it twisted. So, but I just don't go out to clubs. My life like totally changed. I went from this person doing this to serving God like full speed ahead. So no, so I don't do clubs. I don't knock anybody who do. I feel like you got to find your own way. It's between you and God. My only job is to preach the word of God to you. It's up to you to eat. So I don't get my job twisted. And just like I found them, everybody else got to find them. For real. So, but yeah, I had a pivotal point one day, and I wrote Brown Skin. I'll never forget that. That is one of my best poems, I feel. But like I said, I had notebooks and notebooks of poems because it was my relief. That's how I got. The thing about it is, people can't believe that I don't like to sing. I don't like to sing, and I don't know why. And they're like, "But you can sing, and you hate to sing," which is true. God bless me with that gift, and I understand it. My family, as I told y'all, has I have they have two gospel groups, and we have some celebrities in our family that, you know, they out there making music and they pretty good. I mean, they've sold different stuff. Um, they've been on the Billboard charts. They've been in groups that has gotten Grammys. I have a cousin, believe it or not, I have a little cousin who got an ESPY, I think that's what it's called, because she wrote five of Tyrese Gibson's songs on his one album that he came out with, and one of the one songs that she wrote uh, got a Grammy, and she also sung backup on three of his songs. She lives in Chicago, and everything and stuff, and so she also helped Fantasia and everything. So yeah, my roots is deep when it comes to singing and everything. So, you know. Um, Matter of fact, that song "Stay" that everybody loves, she wrote it. "Stay" from Tyrese Gibson. "Stay." Yep. So she got an ESPY for that. I was so proud of her, and things. And she's known in Chicago too. She sings everywhere. She's got a CD out and everything. She's working on her second project. Her name be up in lights and everything, baby. She's the business. Her. So, um, it's just a gift. It's a gift. Now, I don't feel like I'm equal to her, which I don't compare myself to anybody, but if you was to put us two together, she has her own unique, I mean, like, for real. And I'm in my lane. I have my own, and hey, I'm like, you better sing, cuz. You better work it out, so, um, what else? So, like I said, the only thing I can do is just tell my story, and hopefully, it ministers to somebody or helps somebody. So, Now, this is what you call Grammy. You know, there is a thing that says hurt people, and that's the truth. And so I remember this one particular time. I was living, okay, I was grown. I was in my 20s, early 20s, like 20, 21, something like that. Anyway, I was living in another apartment complex. And I met these people. Okay, first, let me tell you how this went down. So I moved to this different apartment complex. It was a projects, okay? And I had moved, transitioned from foster care because I'll tell you about it that anyway, but just know I transitioned from foster care at 17. I got emancipated at 17. So I had been on my own, believe it or not, at 16 because my foster mom said as long as I told her, as long as I called in every day and told her that I was okay and showed up once a week, that she wouldn't tell the people because she knew I didn't belong in foster care. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I miss my foster mother so bad, y'all. That was my baby. And I always wanted to be a foster parent like her because, you know, I heard these horror stories about foster parents, but I had a blessed one. I mean, this woman was amazing. So, anyway, so at 16, me and this particular guy I was dating had an apartment. Okay, and I was over there like out of 7 days a week, 5 days I was over there, and so until I moved like completely, and so I moved out on my own. I got emancipated at 17, and so that's when I moved in this one particular apartment complex, and so when I moved in, I'm the young girl. Okay, now picture it, Kentucky. Okay, this was, let me see, 1987, 88, somewhere along the line. I moved in, okay, and these women in my building and across from me hated me. I'll tell you why they hated me. Because the day that I was moving in, I walked past a porch that had one man on it. And he watched me from the time I walked from the car all the way to my apartment, which was two doors over from him. And he said, how you doing? I said, hello. And kept moving, okay? Now, by the time I went in the house to see where I wanted everything situated and stuff like that, came back out to get back in the car, it was a porch filled with men. So what he did was whatever the men do to tell each other about a woman, a girl, or whatever, he did that. And so when I came back out, everybody, all the men, was sitting on the porch waiting for me to come back through so they can see what he was talking about. Now, mind you, at this time, I was dancing. I had no stomach. I had round hips, firm butt, big butted. I still got a big butt. But anyway, big butted that. Muscles in my thighs. Um, I was a 36C in the boob area. High cheekbones because of my mix, what I am. Real long hair, real hair, because I ain't know nothing about weave and stuff then, which was cut real long on the top and hung real long in the back that I had put up in the ponytail. Um, what else? Oh, and my eyes changed. They still change to this day. I don't know what type of cat that we got. I don't get it. I even asked my dad. I was like, why? He's like, I have no clue. So it's just something in our bloodline, I guess. I don't know. But my eyes changed. My eyes still change to this day. So anyway, you can look at me one way and it look like I have solid black eyes. I mean, and then when you look at me again, you'll see that I have gray brown eyes. I don't get it. However, so now that day I had on, you know how back then you wore like half shirts Daisy Dukes, sandals, hoop earrings, hair up in a ponytail. Okay, so when I walked back through, every head on the porch watched me. Like, and I was laughing. And one of the other guys said, "How you doing?" I said, "Fine, hey, gentlemen." Like that. They was like, "Hey." These are older men, dude. They were already in their, like, late 20s, early 30s or something like that. And they watched me from the time I came out the door, whatever the conversation was that they had, they stopped talking and watched me from locking my door, coming out the door, walking past them. I spoke and kept walking. And as I kept walking, they started whispering. And they started like, "Yeah, man, for real. I'll be over here all the time." Like that. Okay. So their women's hated me. So evidently they had talked so much about this new girl that has just moved in that they women gathered on the other porch, and the men went in the house. When I came back home, the women were on the other porch watching me. They didn't speak, they just stared. I went through that most of my life, but it's okay. They just stared. I ain't speak to them either. You looking at me, I'm looking at you. Whatever. So, All right, so that's how that went down. Anyway, after a while, one of the women, she don't know I heard her talking about me though, but I was going to see how far this played out. So one of the women said, well, I'm gonna stop staring at you and just introduce myself to you like that. And so I was like, well, okay, and I said, okay, well, what's your name, like that and stuff. And so she told me her name. Wait a minute, y'all, I'm getting distracted because my son's is up here. So, but anyway, um, so she told me her name, and I was like, okay. And she had a whole bunch of little bitty kids or whatever, and I realized the same people who she was talking about me to, and this is why I don't pay no attention to females for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. My friends, I have like three best friends, and actually two of my best friends are dead, so I only have one left. Um, and one of them, her no good boyfriend that she left because he was beating her, tracked her down on her birthday, climbed through her window, and shot her in the head. So my other friend, she grieved herself into her disease that she ended up dying from. So, and when I mean by grieved, it's because the dude I asked her not to marry, she married him anyway. He ended up doing exactly what I told her he was going to do, and it cost her life. So, I only have one left, and everything. So, I don't call everybody my best friends. You can be my buddy, you can be my sissy, in a way, but you never qualify for my best friends until we done been in the dirt, in the mud, sand castles. We done, like you done got mad at me, I done got mad at you. We done stopped talking, but you ain't never told what I told you. I ain't never told what you told me. When all that goes down like that, okay? So, anyway, so I realized the same people they was talking about me, like she was in the crowd talking about me, didn't know anything about me. They would talk about her when she turned her back. They would say a whole lot of stuff about her. So anyway, uh, her her kid's father and all this and stuff, he didn't live here. He had moved actually to another state for a better opportunity. So when he moved to another state for a better opportunity, he would come back and see her. So he was not with the men who was on the porch that day. So he came in town and everybody was trying to fill him in on this young girl who just moved in. Okay. First mistake, never build the anticipation of another woman up to your mate. First mistake. Never. Okay. Anyway, so after that, uh, what happened was, so she said, here she come now. I want you to meet her. So I was coming to sit on the porch, and she was like, "Hey, Coco, come here for a minute. I want you to meet whatever his name was. I don't even remember now, but it was her kid's father or whatever. And I was like, okay, this man was every bit of like almost 40. And so I came down and I said, how you doing? You know, he had already scoped me as I was walking. Women, be careful of your men. Men have a way of looking at a woman before you even know they're looking at a woman, okay? I started laughing because I know the look, you know. So when I get there, I shook his hand. I said, how you doing? You know, and everything. He said, fine, how you? I said, fine. So, you know, I was talking and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm going to go back down here and sit on the porch. You know, I'm waiting on the call. So, anyway, she was like, well, come back down later, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there, you know. Now, I already know you watch me because I can feel it. Okay, I feel like that woman on that movie when she said, I know you watching me walk, you know. So I'm sitting on the porch, mad at my own, talking on the phone and everything. And so she's like, hey, Coco, when you get off the phone, come here because he wants to ask you something. I'm like, uh-oh. I said, okay. So finally, I get off the phone. Now, mind you, all the other women is watching this interaction. Anytime there was an interaction, they really wouldn't say too much to me because them women was threatened. Okay, it finally came out, and it went down. It finally came out that they were threatened. Okay, because I was the youngest one, moved in, bad body, you know, had my own, making my money. Yeah, so it came out. So anyway, um, I went back down there and he was like, I want to make a business opportunity with you. You know, he said, because he said she doesn't have a phone right now and I need to keep in touch with her because, you know, she just found out she's pregnant. And I said, okay, you know, like it and stuff. I was like, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I said, let me think about, you know, what and all this and stuff. And he said, okay. He said, but think about this. I'm offering to pay your phone bill if anytime I call, you can go get her and she can talk to me. I said, oh, that's a win-win. I said, but okay, let me think about it. So, y'all, there was one bill taken care of, and he did that. He would actually send money up here. He would send money to first. He started sending my money with her. He would call and say, "Hey, this is we're gonna call him T. Hey, this is T. How you doing?" I'm like, "Fine." He's like, "Is old girl around?" I'm like, "Hold on, let me holler down there and see," because she's like living on the next porch, you know, and. You know, she was like, oh, okay. And I would say, hey, telephone. She's like, all right, okay, here I come, like that. So, you know, before she get to the phone, he's like, you get your bill yet? I'm like, no, not yet. He's like, all right, well, I just sent her some money, and I went ahead and put an extra 50 in her, and I told her what that's for. So when she cashes, she should be able to give you that 50. If you need more than that, you got my number. Call me. Catch that. If you need more than that, call me. I never would do that at first. I'm telling you, hurt people, okay? I never would do that at first. So, you know, I would leave them to talk and everything. I'd go outside. I didn't care, you know, whatever. So, after that, you know, she would hang up and she would go. Well, one particular time when after she talked to him, she went back and I realized her family had picked her up, like her mom, them, or whatever, they picked her up to take her wherever she needed to go. My phone rung and I answered. This was it was a little later. And I said, hello, like that. And T said, hey, how you doing, Coco? I said, I'm fine. I said, you want to speak to her girl? I think she just left. He said, nah, actually, I was calling to talk to you. And I said, okay. I said, what's up? Like that. He said, I don't know how to say this. I'm like, you're a grown man. Just say what you got to say. I already knew where he was going, but I'm gonna make you be a man and tell me what you want. I ain't gonna, you know, beat around the bush. We ain't gonna play no clues. Talk. Use your words. So he said, you know, I'm feeling you, right? You know, like, you know, I like you, right? And I'm like, I kind of figured it. I figured it, you know, like that. And he said, but I don't know if I should tell you this because I don't want you to mess up my home. I don't want you to tell her. I said, what would I get out of telling her? He said, oh, so, okay. So he kind of, you know, like, oh, well, shoot, she with it. I said, but paying my phone bill don't get my attention. Say what y'all want. it was the truth. That's where I was. I was about money and taking care of my responsibilities. I was like, paying my phone bill don't get my attention. That's something you owe me. He's like, I got you. He said, okay, I'll tell you what. How about I just send what I'm give you to you and make it separate from her? I said, what you gonna tell her? He said, I just tell her instead of instead of her cashing what I'm sending you, that I just send to you. You grown, you can cash your own stuff. He said, I just tell her it don't make no sense for me to send it to her when I can send it directly to you. He said, trust me, whatever I say, she'll go for it. And I was like, okay. I said, so what are you sending? He said, I'm gonna surprise you. I said, make it right. Like that. He said, what you gonna do for me? I said, make it right. Make it right. We'll work everything else out when you get here. Say what you want. So, anyway, so he came up the following week and he was like, let me go down here and holler at her. Now, mind you, the women of the court is telling her, you don't need to be sending your man down there with that girl. It don't look right. I trust my man. This is all she was talking. I trust my man, and all this and stuff. And I don't care nothing about that B. She's doing me a service. Now, mind you, you know, I'm hearing what she's saying. She don't know I'm hearing it, but I'm hearing it. I don't care nothing about that B. She doing me a service. I get to talk to my man, honey, anytime I want to, and all this and stuff. And they trying to tell her, yeah, but it just don't seem right. It don't seem right. And here's the thing, y'all. I really started liking this lady as a friend, not a friend, a buddy, to where I knew she wasn't the cleanest person, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I knew she wasn't the cleanest person. So, and she was pregnant, and she had other kids. I would go down her house when he wasn't there. I would help her clean her house, while she took care of her kids. I would go to the grocery store for, just different things like that. But when I keep hearing you refer to me other than Coco, then I have an issue with you, and I'm going to show you something, okay? And she regretted it, but nevertheless, the seed was already sown. And it has always been my thing with females. They try to come after me and won't check their mate. I don't get that. But nevertheless, so let me hurry this story up because I don't want this to be in a real long live. It's already at 30 something. So anyway, let me fast forward. One night, he was up here. Now, mind y'all, the whole time, this man was sending me money. He was sending me, like, he would always send, he upped my phone bill to $70, which my phone bill at that time was only like 40, 35. And that's even with long distance. But he would send me 70 for the phone, and he would send me like 100, 120 for me. Okay. So, nobody knew about that except my friend and him. I always have to have somebody just in case something go down. You need to know this whole story so that you can tell what happened. Okay. So anyway, that particular day, y'all, she went in labor, and I was left in the house. I said, I got the house, y'all. Go ahead. I said, I hope you have a smooth labor, all this and stuff. So I had the kids in her house, and her mom them came and got the kids. I was cleaning up the house. He called. I ran and got the phone from my house and was like, yeah, I'm down your house cleaning up. I said, how's she doing? He said, she just went back. I just was calling to check and see if the kids was picked up. And as soon as she had the baby, I'd be back to the house. I'm like, okay, like that. I said, I'm trying to straighten up a little bit so she won't have that much to do. He said, thank you. I said, no problem. Hung up the phone, went back down to her house. I'm straightening up a little bit and everything, changing her sheets and all that and stuff. So he comes in, and he's got a bag with him and everything. He comes in, and it was funny because when he stepped through the door, he said, hey, honey. And I cracked up. I said, you were so stupid. I said, how's she doing? He said, we had a boy or something like that, and it was, easy label, and she'll be home in 2 days and all this, So I'm sitting there listening to him, and he's like, for everything you've done, I want to cook dinner for you. Now, y'all, I should have took my happy-go-lucky butt home, but I didn't. Okay. Part of it was because I was hungry for one. Two, because I really wanted to see if the person could cook, because that's what he did out of town. He was a chef. Okay. I mean, a nice chef too, making good money and stuff. And so I was like, okay, yes, I'll be back. So I went home, took my bath, freshen up because I had been cleaning. That's nasty. You don't sit and eat, you've been cleaning. So took my bath, and everything. Got dressed. Not nothing special. Just put on some stuff. Went back down there. Now, mind you, I know the windows have eyes, but I was already in her house, so it wasn't no big thing. They already seen him come home. It wasn't no big thing. Okay, so we in the house, and girl, he's got this smelling good. I mean, he got that steak like it was like, come here, like that steak was calling me. And he must have planned it because he had two T-bone steaks. Not many, two. Had two T-bone steaks. He had something else I had never tasted before, but that stuff was so good. Oh my goodness. He had something to drink, which anybody know me know I can't drink, but I tried, okay? So I had a cooler. He had some type of brown something, and then I switched and got some gin, Seagram's gin. Yeah, not a good idea. So we sitting there laughing and eating and everything and talking, and he's like, "Here, let me." So he cut my stuff, something that he had made. I can't think of what this was, and he fed it to me, and I was like, "Wow!" I said, "Oh, this is so good, like that and everything." And he just started looking at me. I said, "Why are you staring at me?" He just kept staring. I said, "Why are you staring at me?" Now at this time, y'all, I ain't feeling no pain. I ain't drunk, but I feel good. Okay. And he said, "As bad as it is right now, and I know I just had a baby." He said, "But if I'm honest," he said, "I want you." He said, "Right now." He said, "So I'm trying to hold myself back because I know it'll be foul to know that my girl just had my baby and I'm sitting here wanting you like that." And so I'm just staring back. And I'm like, yeah, let's clean up. So, because I said, because the way I feel, you might just get me. And so then the smile got on his face, and I'm like, now, okay, let's stop while we're ahead. Come on. Now, mind you, we've already been playing this thing up. That's what that extra money and stuff was, because he's taking care of two families. Get into it. And matter of fact, what was so sad, he did more for me than he did for her. I ain't understanding. You got his kids, and you ain't demanding more. As long as he call you and show up every other weekend, you good, girl. Not here. So anyway, and plus I had brothers that schooled me. The men in my family, I watched how some of the men are out, but I watched how some of the men in my family worked that thing, and I was schooled by the best, baby. So I was a woman with a men's mentality. No, ma'am, not gonna do me. So we cleaning up, and I'm helping him. Remember I told you I pulled the sheets off the bed and all that stuff. So now we in the room, and I'm helping him make the bed up. He's like, "Can you help me make the bed?" I'm like, "Sure." So I'm making it's a water bed too, y'all. Not the real motion water bed, but one that you can still feel move, but kind of got that solid to it. So I'm trying to pull the sheet. He's pulling the sheet. I'm pulling the sheet. Like that, and the sheet like pulls up from the other part that we don't put on there, and we both cracking up. Like it's the stuff, and I see it all. Like when I think back about it, I should have left. I should have. So I'm not saying what I did was right at all, but I'm gonna tell you everything I told you, whether it be good or bad. If I don't look good in the story, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So we finally stopped laughing and decided to take our time and make this bed up. Okay, nice old queen size water bed, maple. Oh my goodness, I was in mahogany, whatever it was. It was nice. After that, he was like, I feel some music. I'm like, okay. He's putting on music. He's like, dance for me. I said, dance with me. So we start dancing. Okay, first we dancing, kind of fast. All of a sudden that track took a turn, and Johnny Gill, my, my, my. You sure look good tonight. I never forget. Came on. Followed about how deep is your love? Get? So now he's sitting and I'm dancing for him. So he grabs me around my waist. He puts his head on my stomach. He's like, we going here, aren't we? And I said, yep. Next thing I knew, he grabbed my hand, took me back in the bedroom, honey, and we went for what we knew. And I mean, we went for what we knew like it was no tomorrow. Because all this anticipation had been building up. It had been building up. A little flirtation here, a little talk on the phone when he would call me. I never would call him. So even if he had my record subpoena, you would never see that I called him. He always called me. Sometimes he called me one something in the morning, things like that, but yep, I was in that house until about 3 a.m. Now did we just do it once? We made that work for all the time we was talking to each other about, we made good on every promise. I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, all this and stuff. Everything went down the way we both said it was going to go down. It went down. And I did not regret it. I did not regret it. In the back of my mind, I thought, I'm that same B that you talked about to all the women, But I'm that B. No other woman made sure that her house was clean, made sure that her kids was well. None of that. But they all had a good helping of cocoa. I mean, I was on the plate, served up like a turkey. Do you hear what I'm saying? But nobody would ever come over and do for her. And nobody would go to the store for. I mean, they talked about her while she talked about me. That's what was so funny. They would talk about her, how she was dirty. They didn't see how that man wanted to be with her and all this. It was messed up. I wanted that myself, but hey, they had kids in this thing, so he been in it for a minute, and I'm thinking, well, maybe she became like this afterwards, because a lot of times women don't know, they change for whatever reason. So, but that night, my goodness, it went down. And I had never experienced an older man like that in that way, because you can tell he had been wanting just to be with me in that way. I know I had been wanting to be with him. I ain't gonna lie, make it seem like it was one sided, because that'd be a lie. But this man, my goodness, this man made love to me. Like, this is something he wanted me to remember for the rest of my life. If we never got a chance to do it again, that's what he wanted me to remember. Now, when I left out that morning, it was around 3 something in the morning, and it wasn't awkward. It was painful, because when I woke up, he had his arms around me laying in his arms, and his arms around me, and he was already woke. And when I woke up, I'm like, what time is it? Like at, and he said, I think almost 3, if not a little after. And I said, you been woke? He said, I just been woke watching you. I was like, yeah, this is going to be awkward. He said, I know. He said, but I don't regret it. Do you? I said, no, I don't regret it. Because if I regret it, I would have never did it. And so we laid there, and I flipped around and looked at him, was like, how you going to play this out? Because everybody know I've been over here, and they going to tell her, she ain't leave your house until this time and all this and stuff. And He was like, I just have to deal with that. He said, but don't nobody know what happened over here. So I'm like, yeah, that's true. So anyway, he watched me go home. I went home. He shut the door. I went in and was like, I cannot believe I just did that. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I just did that. And so I went to bed. Okay, so she came home 2 days later. I was down there with her, helping her out a little bit. And it just felt awkward. It just felt awkward because me being a woman, I was like, I just can't do this. I can't be around her, even though she, said some stuff about me. I can't be around her and this baby and him and the kids and all this the way that I was at first because it just, we took it somewhere and it'll never go back the way it was. And so I started telling her, uh, that I had other things to do and I'm trying to give her space and, to bond with her man and all this and stuff. And so I started backing up. And it became an issue with him because I was no longer available like I was. And, you know, um, so months passed and they were ready to move. So I guess he felt guilty. I'm not sure. But she came. Okay, did they? Was it? No, they moved. That's what it was. They moved. She came back and she was like, "Can I talk to you for a moment?" I said, "Sure," like that. So she came in my house, and I'm never scared of anybody in my house because I know where all the stuff is. Don't get it twisted. You'll never be able to come in my house and think you're gonna whoop me. Yeah, okay. Period. Even if I was on the porch. Period. So she came in and she was like, "I need to know something." I said, "Okay." She said, "Did you sleep with him?" And I said, "What did he say?" She said, let me be honest with you." She said, "He confessed to me that y'all slept together the night that I had our baby. And he was sorry because he wants to marry me and make it right and everything. And he didn't want to throw you, up under the bus." She said, "But he had to come clean because he couldn't keep being around me knowing that he had did that to me." And she said he told her that we had been drinking and it just happened. And, it wasn't anything that was planned, which was a lie. He said it wasn't anything that was planned. It was just because we was happy. He cooked for me. We started drinking and one thing led to another. I said, "Well, I'm not going to debunk what he said. If that's what he said, that's what that's what happened." And I couldn't tell her I was sorry because I wasn't. And she just kept looking at me like, "Aren't you going to say?" I can't tell you something I'm not. So, anyway. And she's like, "Everybody kept telling me that I need to watch you." But I was like, "No. Bring me some toilet paper, please." She said, "Everybody keep telling me I need to watch you." But I was like, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Yeah, was that before or after you called me several B's?" And she looked. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I heard everything. Just like y'all stay in y'all window, so do I. Y'all just can't see me because I have curtains." I said, "But I don't have no hard feelings towards you. I really don't." I said, and she said, "Well, from here on out, we can't be friends, we can't be associates, we can't be anything." I said, "I respect that." I said, "You all have a good life." And that was it. I think I saw them one more time. It was years later. And I happened to be at Kroger. And I was at Kroger. And he was pulling up and happened to look and did a look back like, and I just looked at him and nodded my head. You know how you acknowledge somebody. Wait a minute, y'all. Thanks, son. Hold on, y'all. It's sinus infection. At least it's draining. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all up in the thing, blowing my nose. I apologize. Whew. I'll wait till I get out because I'm almost finished and blow the rest. But um, I acknowledged him with a head nod. He smiled and winked at me like that, and I went on in the store, and that was it. I haven't seen them since. I don't know if they living or dead. I don't know if the kids is grown. I don't know anything, But it was another lesson. Women, stop playing women up to your mate because you make them want to see this person. You make them want to be with this person because you play them up. You play other women up to your mate. And I'm one. Okay, no female. Catch that. Because when you know better, you do better. And no female is allowed to be in my house when I ain't here. Okay? None. Unless you my daughter or my mama. But I don't have friends. Like I said, I got one best friend, and me and her, we barely see each other. If we see each other twice a year, that's saying something. Other than that, if we talk on the phone 3 times a year, that's saying something. We don't run in each other's face and all that, but we acknowledge each other to everybody. I got one best friend because I feel like you don't have to, we both adults, we both got businesses, we both got, married, and we got our lives and stuff. We learn when we need each other, when we just need to just do that girl thing, honey. We'll spend one whole day and get it all out. I mean, it's like a job. We'll be with each other for 8 to 10 hours, honey. We done ate, we done laughed, we done cried, we done caught up, everything, and we go about our business. So that's what that is. Now, I do have associates, I do have buddies, but as far as besties, I only have one bestie. That's it. I had 3, 2 of them dead. I got 1. So, so that's one of the stories when I say hurt people, because I was still willing from everything that was going on. Still, now mind you, during this process, I was still with my cousin. See, so whenever his beck and call, whenever he called, I'm available. Whenever he showed up, everybody else had to leave. That's how that thing was going. I had been through so much with him that, if I would say no or whatever, he would show up and then I would have to fight. Like he felt he could grab me up in my throat and, all this and stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. So it was crazy. But like I said, my life is like an onion. The more you peel back, the more it makes you cry. You know. So I just wanted to share that. Like I said, women, stop playing women up to your mate. Is that somebody blowing? I don't go to blows. Hold on. Jaquari! Jaquari! Are you expecting Logan? No, why? Because it seemed like somebody's blowing. So, anyway, y'all.
Oh, it's Daddy.
Oh, okay. That's my husband.
Here I go. 1 minute.
What, y'all going to get the mattress?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, but anyway, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. This live is messed up. Recording is messed up. But however it is, my life. It's my son who moved back from Memphis. My husband's waiting on him to go to get his mattress. Am I proud about what happened? No, but it did happen. So ain't no use in me sugarcoating it like it didn't. It happened. But that's why I said hurt people. And sometimes women deal with a lot of things. And I was trying to go on with my life, but I still had that residue. And I was still very much in bondage sexually, lust-wise, mental-wise, because I looked at it as a paycheck, and it's like anything gonna help me further my cause, and everything. And what's so funny is the women that was talking about me, all of them had men that did not do for them. But here I was, single woman, who, here I was a single young woman who, when I moved in, when I moved in my apartment, this is what I moved in with: plates, cups, silverware, and 2 blankets. The guy who I had moved in with, when I moved in my own with my own name, signed my own lease, with him not on it, because I knew that was, yeah. He told me, give me 48 hours. I have this whole thing furnished. Because you can't be with me and not do for me. I never understood that. So within 48 hours, he was moving in. Living room suits. Nice living room suite. Dinette set, furnished both bedrooms, everything within 48 hours. And then after that, we split up because he was crazy. He was like, no, stalker crazy. He stalked me. Whole bunch of other stuff, but I'll tell y'all about that later. I think I told y'all about some of it because it's the same guy who I found out was dealing with, that he was having sex with that man that he called his best friend. So, like I said, everything interacts together. It's crazy. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted y'all to know that story and just be on the lookout that a lot of times when women do stuff, they're not healed in their spirit or their emotions, and they dealing with some past issues, you know. And like I said, what I did, I ain't say it was right, but it is what it is. It happened, and even to this day, I don't regret it. And maybe I should, and maybe when I hit 60, I might, because I'm almost 50 now. But I still don't regret it, and I don't regret it because I learned the lesson from it. And if I say I regret it, then it's like I went through all that for nothing. But would I do it now? Heck no. I'm more mature now, and I understand, and I'm better now, and I'm not that same person. So now you can't come to me with that because I understand sisterhood more than I ever did back then. So, but it is what it is. And I hope everything worked out for them. I hope they end up, getting married like they said. Because I think from the last time everybody was talking back then when I lived there, this was back in the 80s or whatever, they still hadn't got married. So I don't know if she just accepted the fact that he was going to be her boyfriend for life. I don't get that either. But to each his own. Maybe marriage ain't for everybody, but yeah, okay. What you said. So, all right, y'all. Keep it fresh, keep it real, stay safe. I might be back later on tonight for another love and hip hop story, but none of us should be who we were. We should always evolve and be better people, and we should always use those things as a stepping stone, you know. So, all right. This has been Coco 929. Smooches. Have a wonderful and in 5 days, boys have an amazing evening. Bye.